First tonight, Labor confident its chances of winning Braddon haven't been soiled by Shorten's tax backflip. Police surround a man wanted over the discovery of a woman's body in a barrel. New details revealed about the suspected newsroom gunman as family and friends mourn 5 people killed. Barry Hall refuses to apologise for the vulgar comment that forced Triple M to sack him. And disgraced Australian opener Dave Warner makes his return to cricket.
Live from our Tasmanian headquarters, this is Southern Cross News with Rick Fontyn.
Good evening, everyone. Labor insists its chances in the federal Braddon by-election haven't been hurt, despite Bill Shorten's embarrassing backflip this week on business tax. Both sides of politics spent another day on the Northwest campaign trail, opening the chequebook.
Making another pitch to voters. Labor was today pledging $1 million to fix Devonport's Meercroft Park and trying to forget the party's own goal earlier this week, with Bill Shorten's embarrassing reversal on mid-size company tax cuts. Voters can expect plenty more electioneering with Bill Shorten to fly into the state early next week. Sean McComish, Southern Cross News.
A standoff with a man suspected of murdering a teenage girl and stuffing her body in a barrel continues after more than 24 hours. Heavily armed police are at an apartment on the Sunshine Coast where Zlatko Sikorsky is believed to be surrounded.
He had a handgun and a shotty, but he had a few guns there.
34-year-old Sikorsky is suspected of murdering 16-year-old Larissa Bailby. Disturbing new details tonight about the mass shooting at a US newspaper that left 5 journalists and staff dead. Survivors have revealed the gunman barricaded an exit so no one could escape.
For the second day, a small newsroom was the nation's biggest news story.
Journalists, like all Americans, should be free from the fear of being violently attacked while doing their job.
We have some breaking news now on a data breach at the Tasmanian Electoral Commission. In a statement just released, the TEC confirmed a hacker stole a backup file from a company called Typeform, which it uses to collect data through its website. Authorities believe the information includes the name, address, email and date of birth for people who applied for an express vote at recent elections. The Electoral Commission says it will contact affected people and apologises for the breach. Investigations are continuing into what sparked a blaze behind a Launceston workshop this afternoon. Several crews responded around 1:30 p.m. to Hobart Road, Youngtown, and managed to get the shed under control a short time later. The damage bill is not yet known. Police say no one was injured. There's been another blowout of Tasmania's public housing waiting times. The latest quarterly figures showing the average time to house priority applicants has risen to 72 weeks. That compares with 63 weeks at the end of December and 49 weeks this time last year. In March, there were more than 3,400 people on the housing register. A total of 229 people on that wait list were housed in the first quarter of 2018. Well, stay with us, still to come in our broadcast tonight. Chaos in America as a teen tries to run down his girlfriend in a department store. And Tasmania's future doctors get some crucial training as the pressure on our hospitals intensifies. Welcome back. Tributes are flowing for a much-loved Launceston identity who sadly passed away this week. Peter Douglas, known by many as Pete or Pops, spent 20 years behind the wheel of City Park's train. He was today remembered as a passionate ambassador for the park and loved to delight youngsters. He will be missed. The next generation of Tasmanian doctors are getting trained up to prepare them for general practice. Local health professionals say it's a crucial area to help take pressure off our stretched hospitals.
GP registrars getting hands-on experience with some tricks of the trade today, practising the techniques of plastering to help treat patients with bone breaks and fractures. Michael Breen, Southern Cross News.
Abroad now, and at least 6 people are dead after Islamist militants attacked the headquarters of an anti-terror task force in the West African nation of Mali. Suicide bombers drove a truck rigged with bombs into the compound, causing a huge explosion. 2 soldiers and 4 assailants were killed in the attack. Security cameras have captured the moment a ute rammed into a shopping centre in Texas, smashing through the aisles and causing close to $700,000 in damage. Police say the 19-year-old driver was trying to run over his girlfriend after they were seen arguing. She wasn't hurt, but the teenage driver was arrested and charged. Handwritten lyrics to Bruce Springsteen's classic Born to Run have sold at auction for $250,000. Disgraced cricketer David Warner has made his return to the game 3 months after the ball tampering scandal rocked the sport. His comeback got off to a rocky start before he redeemed himself in the field. Warner determined to prove the critics wrong.
Dave Warner arrived at the Maple Leaf Cricket Club and walked alone from the bus for his first match since the scandal.
Well, sport is next with Tom Cooper. Good evening, Tom. And Bernard Tomic's Wimbledon hopes are still alive.
Yeah, love him or hate him, Rick, he'll still get one more chance at qualifying for the main draw. I'll have more on that after the break. Also coming up, a clean sweep for the Hobart Chargers at the deck, and Clarence back on the winners list after overrunning the Tigers at Blunston Arena. Welcome back. Well, there were positive signs, but ultimately Carlton fell short against Port Adelaide in Cade Simpson's 300th game. The Blues were right in the contest until 10 minutes of last quarter magic from Port. Charlie Curnow kicked 4 goals for Carlton in another breathtaking performance.
Carlton legends including Bruce Doull were there to watch Cade Simpson play his 300th game. And in a case of the old and the new, Charlie Curnow helped the Blues off to a hot start.
Back home, and Clarence have booted their way back onto the winners list, overrunning Kingborough at home this afternoon. The Blues once again looked out of sorts, going down to Glenorchy at KG5, while Lauderdale's bad run at Utah's Stadium continued against the reigning premiers.
Out to show that last weekend's win over the Blues was no fluke, the Tigers kept up with the Roos early at Blunston Arena. Mitch Carter proving a revelation in the visitors' forward line, with his teammates backing him all the way.
Bernard Tomic will play at Wimbledon as the ultimate lucky loser. Tomic was thrashed in the final round of qualifying, but survives through to the second chance draw. He'll face another lucky loser, Poland's Hubert Hurkacz, and collect almost $70,000 just for turning up. And the Hobart Chargers have sent a stern message to the competition, with both sides putting on a show in front of the home crowd overnight. The wins keeping the women's finals hopes alive and cementing the men as a true contender for the Siebel title.
Making their intentions known early. The quick hands of Trey Nichols seeing his side in the box seat come the end of the first term, and if he wasn't giving them off, he was sinking them himself.
To soccer, and South Hobart have delivered Launceston City its first loss of the NPL season in a high-scoring affair at Darcy Street. The home side struck first with Brazilian striker Renato De Vici making the most of some sloppy keeping. Tyler Fisher squaring things up a short time later to set things up for a fierce second half. Both sides managing one more apiece before Alex Walter came off the bench to give South the edge. De Vici putting the finishing touch on the match in the dying minutes to keep South's title hopes alive with the 4-2 win. Some great news in netball, Rick. The Tasmanian Magpies will play for the Australian Netball League Grand Final tomorrow after winning their semi in Canberra today.
Yeah, fantastic result. We wish them well in the Grand Final. Thanks for that, Tom. All right, well, stay with us. Britt Aylen's going to join us after the break with Sunday's weather forecast.
Good evening. A cold front brought showers to the west and north this morning, spreading statewide by the afternoon. Burnie and Devonport both reached the state's high of 14 degrees, and it was 13 in Hobart and Launceston. Friendly Beaches shared the high of 14. It was 13 at Low Head and Maria Island, 12 at Smithton, St Helens and Ouse, 11 on King Island, and a top of just 6 at Liawini. Clouds sat over the north and west of the state, spreading statewide by the afternoon. And zooming out, we can see high-level cloud associated with the jet stream moving swiftly over central Australia, with some mid to low cloud over the top end and parts of Queensland, and higher cloud over southern WA and parts of South Australia. Tomorrow, a high-pressure system trundles between the Victoria and New South Wales border, extending ridges over Tasmania and WA. Westerly winds reaching up to 30 knots about the southeast in the morning before tending west to northwesterly in the late afternoon and evening. Swells to 2 metres in western and southern waters. A few things to warn you about. A strong wind warning is current for northeastern waters from Flinders Island to St Helens Point, and southeastern waters from Tasman Island to Southeast Cape. And there is a road weather alert for ice in most areas, so do take care on the roads tomorrow morning. A mostly sunny day for Hobart, 13 the top, 14 and mostly sunny for Richmond, 12 for Ouse with a possible shower. Launceston, a frosty start before a mostly sunny day, warming up to 14 degrees. Devonport, partly cloudy and 14 also, Deloraine at 12. Burnie, partly cloudy, 14, showers for Strawn and Curry. A mostly sunny 14 for both St Helens and Swansea, Whitemark, showers and 14. Jumping ahead to Monday now, showers about the west and north clearing through the evening, but fine elsewhere. Tuesday, showers about the west, south and possibly the north of the state, but mainly fine elsewhere. And Wednesday, morning showers for the west and north, which may spread statewide. Let's look around the country tomorrow. A frosty start for both Canberra and Alice Springs. Perth, partly cloudy, a top of 21. 23 in showers for Brisbane. Sydney, mostly sunny, 17. And a partly cloudy 14 degrees for Melbourne. And right now in Hobart it is 8 degrees and clear, Launceston 9, partly cloudy, Devonport also 8 and clear. And that's all the weather for tonight, Rick.
Fabulous. Looks like a nice Sunday coming up. Thanks, Britt. Well, that is all your news for this Saturday, the 30th of June. Have a fabulous evening. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.